Hello, welcome to a new, I suppose, kind of crochet with me kind of thing. There are dogs barking in the background because obviously. So basically, I filmed the last clip for like the previous vlog, I think. Vlog, Jesus. Anyway, I think on Saturday, yeah, on Saturday, I think, and it's Monday, so it hasn't been long, but I got an idea because I have this yarn. So there's obviously yarn in these two colors that I bought because I was thinking about making a turtle with it, but then I kind of changed my mind. I didn't know what to do with it, and then I thought I can make a baby dragon sleeping, and I think that could be so cute. So that's what we're going to do. I don't know, I thought I would do kind of like the same that I did with the previous video. Does that make sense? Okay, so I'm going to take the yarn. I have a vague idea of what I want to make and what I want it to look like. It's going to be very simple, but I don't usually like draw anything that I want to make or anything like that. I just kind of see how it comes along while making it. So that's what we're going to do. And I think this yarn is fairly popular, or this kind of yarn, not this brand specifically, is fairly popular on TikTok, I think. It's not my favorite, especially when it comes to making amigurumis. It's just I don't know if it's the brand. It might be a brand issue, but it's just not great because it's so frail. It breaks off very easily, and the velvet, if you pull too much on it, it just slides off the main core of the yarn, and I don't like it. But it does make for some very cute amigurumis. So for example, I'll show you. I made this one, which I think, oh, it's okay, there we go. Which I think now the shadow is making it look okay. There we go. That's nicer. Which I think is adorable, but I still don't like the yarn. So when it comes to this yarn, I don't really know how much I need. So when it comes to acrylic, I kind of have, you know, a little bit of experience, so I can kind of tell like how much yarn I will need and how big I can make an amigurumi. With this one, I have absolutely no idea. So I don't know, I wanted the dragon to be a little bit big, but I can't make it too big because I don't have a lot of yarn. So I don't know, I'm going to pray that I somehow get it right. And one more thing that I have to say about this yarn is it's the only yarn that I've ever found where if you start with 6 and go on by increasing with multiples of 6, it doesn't lie flat, and I don't know why. And so sometimes I make the effort and I start with 8, but most of the times I'm just like, I don't care, I'll adjust the pattern, I suppose. But I don't know, it's just weird. If it didn't make for some pretty amigurumis, I wouldn't touch it, but it does. So okay, so I think I made the front of the muzzle. Now I go into the head more, so I want to increase on one side only, so I'm going to leave 6 single crochets flat, and then I'm going to increase in the remaining 18. So I have to make 6 and then increase by making 4 and 1 increase, right? I hope that was 60 single crochets. Okay, so because the increasing was increasing as much as I want to, I'm going to, and I know they're cutting the grass, I don't know what's going on today. So I went back one round, which is inconvenient because this yarn is really difficult to work back on because it tends to get stuck. So I'm gonna do that, and I've already made, oh, for the love of God, I've already made the 6 single crochets, and I'm going to work the increases in front loops only so that it kind of brings the increase a little bit that direction. It doesn't have to make sense. Good. Okay, I'll see you when that is done, hopefully. Okay, so not bad so far. This is where I'm at, and from the front I was thinking I'm going probably to push the eyes in. I'm going to sew the eyes because I wanted them to be closed, but I'm going to push them in, so it should be quite cute. It should look fairly cute. Okay, so now I'm going to decrease on the top. So because I've only increased on the top, I'm also going to only decrease on the top, at least at first. So I'm first going to make the 6 single crochets on the flat side, and then I'm going to decrease on the top. I'm wondering if I should make the hairs and the body as one piece, or if I should make the hairs and the body as different pieces. I don't know. I might try something I haven't really tried before, which is or I haven't tried in a long time, which is I might leave the head open and then make the body and then sew the hairs in the body. So usually I close the head so I reach, the 6 degrees. Do you have to cut the grass today? Yeah, so I'm going to probably, I'm going to show you what I mean, because I realize it doesn't really make much sense explaining it like this. Okay, so the head is done. Forget what I said. I decided to just close the head, and I'm just going to make the body as a different piece, and I just left a little bit of a tail so that I can shape the eyes. Quite satisfied so far. This yarn looks really pretty. God damn it. Okay, so next I'm going to work on the body, and I'm going to start with the tail. I have about half an hour to work on this still, so we'll see how far we can get. So I'm going to start with, I think 6 single crochet is going to be enough. Usually when I want to make something pointier, I start with 4 single crochets, but I think the way that this yarn works, it's going to just be sufficient if I go with 6. I keep talking while I crochet and I cannot talk and count. It's just not something that I can do. Okay, so I'm going to make, I'm going to make 9 in the next one. I don't think I'm gonna need to make 6, because I told you, like, this yarn doesn't lay flat with 6 single crochets, so I don't think I need to increase to just work 6 single crochets without increases to get like the pointy end of the tail, if you will. Okay, so I have the tail done. I'm gonna get started on the body. I'm gonna do the same thing that I did for the head, so I'm going to increase only on one side. So I'm at 36 single crochets now, so I'm going to make 6 single crochets, and then basically I'm going to use the other 30 single crochets and increase, so it's going to be 4 single crochets and then 1 increase repeated 6 times, which I don't know why I'm telling you, because it's not a tutorial, but I don't know. I'm crocheting in the most uncomfortable position. I don't know why. I don't know. I'm used to crocheting like holding my crochet project like very close to me, which is a very unhealthy way, like for your posture, I think. But I'm used to that. So doing this, it's just putting a lot of strain on my wrists, which is why sometimes, like when I'm recording tutorials and stuff, I just stumble so much on my stitches. I don't usually do that. With this yarn I do it more easily. It's not just the position, it's also the yarn, but usually with acrylic I'm a little bit smoother, but when it comes to tutorials I can't. Hello from the next day. So I've worked on the body for the dragon, and it was nothing exciting, so I didn't record it. It was just, I basically did the same thing that I did for the head. So I just started by increasing at the top, as you have seen, and then I started decreasing at the top once I had the size that I wanted. It's actually a pretty chunky dragon, which I don't mind. So I also started shaping the head for the eyes a little bit, and now I have to make the limbs, which I don't really know how to go about because I didn't have a lot of yarn and I don't want to risk not having enough yarn to do all the limbs and then the ears I also wanted to make. I'm going to use the darker shade, this one, to make the spikes. So the spikes are not an issue, and I have like an ivory color that I thought would be good for the wings, or you know, I'll go between the darker blue and the ivory for the wings, and the spikes I'll think about that later. And I will what was that? Okay, I was also thinking that the wings are going to be pretty small because I think it's going to be cute, like for a baby dragon. So I won't need a lot of yarn for that. But for the limbs now, I don't know if I should just make like, because I want him to be kind of sprawled. Okay, so usually I make like if it's something that has like bent limbs, if you will, especially in the back, I made for example a couple of smaller dragons with almost like a thighs bent here, and then you'd have the limb, but that I don't think that's what I'm going to do with this one because I want it to be a little bit more cartoonish. I am so sorry about that. I don't know where I flung the crochet hook, so I'm going to find a new one. And while I do that, I'm going to think about the limbs. There's a 5.5, there's a 4, 6. Will I have to go look for the crochet hook that fell? Okay, give me a second. Okay, you'll be happy to know that I found it. Okay, so what was I saying? Okay, yes, I want it to be a little bit more cartoonish. So I think I'm going to start with the front limb. We're going to keep him here so that we can have an idea. I also don't have a ton of time because I spent quite some time working on the body this afternoon and I just don't have much time. That's fine. It's going to, like, it works out very quickly because it's such a thick yarn. So for example, the width at the, like where it's the widest, the body, it's just 54 stitches, so it's really very few stitches. So it shouldn't take too long, but still. See what it does? I hate it. I hate it so much, especially because I tend to work with such a tight tension. It's really annoying and it's really cumbersome, if you will, especially when it comes to sewing, because if you use the same piece of yarn too much to sew, then this happens and it breaks, and it's just, I don't know. No. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna have to, yeah, fair enough. it's also partly my fault because I'm used to working with, you know, I guess, sturdier yarn, such as acrylic and cotton. So it's my bad. I probably am not as gentle as I should be, I suppose. So I'm checking if I like the size of these or if I want it to be bigger. I think I like how wide it is because, yeah, I don't want it to be wider, it's fine. So I'm just gonna go on making one single crochet in each single crochet. Okay, so I'm thinking something like this. Okay, but I'm out of time today, so I'm gonna go and maybe later tonight I'll work on the other arm, I suppose, and maybe think of something for the legs, and then I'll show you tomorrow because I didn't have a lot of time left. It's Tuesday, and on Friday I have to go and take everything to the place where the market is, so I don't have a ton of time left, as it seems to be the theme. But yeah, I'm also very quickly just going to show you what I also made because these are very easy to make. I'm so sorry if the shadows make them look very ugly. I promise you they're actually very cute. It's just at times, you know, shadows and stuff. I made four of them because they're very quick to make. It's like 40 minutes and they're very cute. So I made all of them. I still have some yarn, so I might make more, but first I have to finish him. Okay, so I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully. Hello again, it's Wednesday, so it's the next day, and I've actually finished making all the pieces for the baby dragon. I finished working on them last night and these mornings, so I just have to sew it, which is going to be a little bit difficult because of the size. But basically I ended up making all of the spikes. Now they're a little bit jumbled because I moved it and they're not properly pinned. And then I made the limbs, so just going to show you, and I just made the legs okay, the legs a little bit bigger, basically a little bit wider than the arms, if you will. Okay, and then I made the tiny wings, which I kind of love. So now I'm going to sew it, and I think I'll just sew it off camera because kind of pointless to show you, and it's already going to be a little bit difficult because it's so big. So I'll just be back in a second with the dragon done. Okay, so the baby dragon is done. I really love him. I think he is adorable and I think the yarn suits him. I especially fought with this one when I had to sew it. It was really bad because the fluff kind of comes off of the core of the yarn, especially when you're sewing because the movement is so repetitive. So that was a little bit of a struggle, but it's fine. It looks very cute, so we'll take it. And now I'll just go and get some of the last things that I need ready for the market, and you know, I'll try not to panic. Okay, so I hope you like this. I don't know, I felt like making it. I wanted to talk to someone about my crochet, so yeah, if you want to follow me anywhere you can follow me, And I don't know, that's it. Yeah, that's it. I hope you have a good one, and I'll see you in the next one, maybe. Okay, bye bye. Don't worry, I did end up adding the ears. I was looking at him once it was done and I was like, he looks weirdly bald, and then I realized he was missing the ears, so I added them. Don't worry.